Hello and welcome back to potentially my last Anthem video, which is why it's called Nope, I'm Out for now. And what I mean by that is there needs to be a definite ethics change within Bioware, mainly EA, but Bioware certainly, and I will take it just as Bioware if it happens, as well as some certain game changes for me to get back in. Now, like I said, when I first got this game, I did pay for just 1 month of Premiere, and that pretty much ends, well, as of the recording of this, tomorrow. So actually this is my last time playing Anthem. I have at least solidly played it for a fair while. I've played it every single day, sometimes not for a serious length of time. Sometimes it was literally just run in, do a few strongholds, run out, maybe help one of my friends that was playing it, try and pester some of my more powerful friends within the game for a quick carry, maybe through GM2 or GM3, just to try and get effectively better gear so that I could enjoy the game at its fullest. So I have played a fair whack of this game, and to date I have 5 masterworks that are, well, within worthwhile. I have a level 45 Pupper Pump, a level 45 machine pistol of some sort, forgotten what it's called, and my 2 main abilities, the weird dash thing you can see me do here, that is a level 45 masterwork. And the ability I have added onto my 2, you can't really see it, I sort of do a weird cross slash and it releases a cloud of acidic gas or toxic gas. This does actually do some seriously impressive damage, and I really like it. And this is also a masterwork. And my final masterwork is a component, which is really what I'm after. I don't know whether it's just because I play Interceptor, and if it is, then there is some, I'm aware she's meant to be the lighter, armoured and more fragile of the javelins, but without this component, and I have tested it several times, the moment I remove this component, the one masterwork component I have, and put anything else on, even if it is a epic, or preferably an epic obviously, I pretty much get one shot by near enough everything. Just the standard guys on Grandmaster 1 chew through me in a matter of moments. Those weird things with a sniper, yeah, you can dodge them, but for the purpose of what I was trying to test, they literally one shot me. Just the scaling difference, I get it, it's going to be harder, but in hard mode I very rarely find masterworks. So to go from basically having just only epic equipment into Grandmaster 1, particularly as an interceptor, I find damn near, I don't want to say impossible, but it's pushing it. And to be perfectly honest, it is beyond absolutely frustrating. I kind of wish to ease this when you entered the Grandmaster leveling, so when you hit level 30, if it gave you, maybe not the best, but definitely not the worst, a semi-decent masterwork component, just to ease the pressure, especially if you are an interceptor. I am really only capable of grinding out and going through Grandmaster 1 strongholds as an interceptor, just purely because I have one masterwork component. And as you can obviously see, it's actually a shield and armor masterwork component. It doesn't really do much for my damage. I mean, as an interceptor, you would think that being that it's quite a melee based javelin, I keep wanting to say frame, I really just want to say frame, but as a melee based javelin, you can see I am having a absolutely great time trying to chew through these guys. So it does sort of, again, sort of highlight just how spongy some of the Grandmaster areas are. And I don't know, I'm assuming the people I'm playing with have played a lot longer than me, but like, I'll be slicing away at something, taking my absolute time, and a storm will come along and just be like, half the map is dead. I kind of feel really, really redundant as an interceptor, which again, it just goes back to scaling. I just feel, basically, from what I can tell, you're either a Colossus or you're a Storm. Anything else is just sort of meh, and I don't really feel it should be that way. I kind of feel at least if I'm going to be this squishy while I'm in melee, let me at least do a crap ton of damage. Yeah, I might get one shot, but you know what? I'm hitting bloody hard. I kind of feel that's a fair trade-off, and then from that point, it is literally just a skill-based medium in which you would have to progress, at least. So yeah, I wouldn't mind, particularly if you hit level 30, if you get at least one free masterwork component. Like, congrats, thank you for hitting level 30, thank you for sticking with this mediocre, not to say terrible, mediocre game this bloody long. Which also leads me on to my second point, and probably one of the main reasons I'm going to stop playing for the moment. Honestly, I'm aware I've just moaned about I would like to farm these higher levels, but then I like a challenge, but not like a stupid challenge, which it currently is. I don't mind a challenge. I wouldn't mind getting slightly better equipment so I can play at a high level and just be like, yeah, look at me, I'm doing really hard stuff. But I'm still doing the same things on repeat. I'm aware it's been a lot of people's massive gripes that just it wasn't released with nearly enough content, and honestly, you really do feel it when you're in the final grind, because you've got there are 3 strongholds. I've forgotten what all of them are called. You've got one which is basically the final boss on repeat from the story mission. One where you've got to basically fight, it's called Skelios or something. It's like a weird tank Scar hybrid. I mean, this just shows how much that I've done these. And the reason I have done these so little is quite simply they're not worth it. The final boss stronghold is a frigging nightmare on steroids. It's just pointless to do. It's not efficient, it's not fun, it's still a pretty buggy mess. I've come across several times where I will just spontaneously die. I can't figure out what's going on, I'll just die. Like, I'll literally see the final boss hit someone else. I'm like miles away, he'll hit someone else and I will die from it, and it's just like, how? I'm like 50 feet from you and 100 feet from where your weapon even impacted. How the hell am I dead and that guy is still alive? This makes 0 sense. The Scar Skelios tank hybrid thing one, that is just a ball ache. I do feel the mechanic in that is just absolutely horrible. It's just not enjoyable in the slightest, as well as it is, again, just not efficient to farm. So you end up basically just doing Tyrant Mine on repeat, and that gets really old and really boring really quick. I mean, it's literally all I do now. And spoiler alert, throughout this entirety of this Grandmaster 1 Tyrant Mine, I get 1 masterwork, and it's something that I have received 10 times before. I will seldom ever get masterworks. I'm aware this isn't the case for everyone, but again, it just shows how just random and just stupid this game actually really is, and it is slowly but surely breaking me. I don't normally mind grinding for loot, but when I put 10 hours into a game, maybe not in one go, but like over like space of like 2 or 3 days, I would expect to get a decent haul of loot, and I will be lucky to get 1 or 2 masterworks from that, and they're not even decent. I wouldn't mind having to grind that long and I got an actual decent bit of gear or loot, but I don't. I grind for that long for something that is trash to mediocre, and I honestly don't think I can do it anymore until I see some form of review that is, or update that is saying, okay, you're actually going to get decent loot, we have scaled the javelins better as well as the raids better. Fine, I'll get that. I might purchase yet again another month of Premiere to give it a test out, and I might do another video on it, but for the time being, yeah, this really is me. And I live a pretty hectic lifestyle, so I've only really just caught up with a lot of what other people are saying about this game. And apparently not too long ago they released a patch to try and fix some of these loot systems, and there was I don't even want to call it an exploit. Basically, Bioware messed up and they had a gap in their coding, and people found a way around or through this gap. I'm not going to call it an exploit, because an exploit would be something that was done wrong on the player's part. Bioware messed up and people used their mess up to get more or better loot. You could say that's exploiting, but exploiting is something that was unintentional. This is Bioware's fault, and they started banning people for it. Like one of the most popular Anthem and Destiny 2 streamers, one of the main people that's been an advocate of their game, trying to tell people that this is not as bad as people think it is, and they banned him. I have since learned that they have unbanned this person. I don't know if that is stuck, but you know, just it really does for me just highlight really shady practices, and just on an ethics standpoint, I can't back a game like that. I was actually going to do an Anthem video with not having Anthem playing at the same time, but I thought, you know what, I've got one more day left of this, I might as well remind myself of just how bleh this game is. I'm not going to say it's the best game. I've previously did a video on it defending this game, and I do still stand by that, because there are a lot of people putting reviews out there that are completely over exaggerating and spreading crap about this game, like the load screens being that bad that they can play other games during the load screen. No, you can't. That's completely wrong. It is not that bad. The load screens actually aren't in general that bad or long, and I don't play on an SSD, but what they are is numerous. I'm actually amazed that throughout the entirety of a stronghold there are no load screens. But you want to enter the forge to customize your javelin, load screen. You want to change javelin, load screen. You want to go into an open area, load screen. You want to go and wander around your main base of operations, load screen. You want to do pretty much everything requires a load screen in this game. It's not so much that the load screens are long and drab and take ages and are buggy and cause problems. It's just there are simply far too many of them. I've recently played the Division 2. I think throughout that entire gaming experience, from the moment you play to the moment you log off, there are 2 load screens. There's one when you log in, and when you exit the game, it saves the game for you, and when it logs you out, there's another load screen. That's literally it. Everything else is completely open, immersive. You're good to go. There are literally no load screens. Open up your inventory to customize your character, go to different areas, different paths. There aren't any load screens. I think the only time that there is another load screen, and that this is done simply through you choosing to do so, is when you fast travel from one location to a main base of operation. It will cause a semi-load screen. It's basically you get a weird animation in your map, which you could count as a load screen because it does come up with a loading animation, but it's showing you the map. You're not actually getting a full-on load screen, which is a weird way to do it. So generally speaking, the longer you actually play this game, yeah, you get to see more cracks and faults and problems, but I don't really care for that. I care for, or I kind of do care for that, that's a bit of a lie. I do care for a game coming out and being an absolute mess, but for me what matters more is when the community turns around and goes, no, this is terrible, this is how you fix it. And I have never once really seen other developers coming to Bioware's aid. You're getting developers from Diablo trying to advise. After being told that we're all toxic and peasants, or whatever it was that EA or Bioware said, basically openly insulting their customers, they then reach out to their customers for help on how to fix Anthem. So it's double standards. It really is, and it infuriates me no end, to be perfectly honest. It's not, the game does have issues, but the larger standpoint of it is the ethos and ethics of Bioware and EA surrounding this game. They'll insult their customers and then ask them for help. They'll ban their most precious advocates of this game that have helped the community of the game to grow, for people to buy copies, to get people interested in this game. They ban them, and it's honestly just, I mean, obviously we've all come across toxic gamers before, but toxic developers and publishers, like, seriously, leave the toxicity to the gamers. Not that I'm trying to say, oh, you're a gamer, be toxic, but you know things are going awry when the publishers are worse than the players. Like, honestly, I am absolutely becoming dumbfounded with this game. It just feels so lazy now. There's, like, technically speaking, I've completed the game, and there is minimal, at least for me, minimal to no replayability. I am honestly, completely and utterly struggling to find a reason to turn this game on at this point. The only reason I've turned it on for this particular instance is to make this darn video. It's really, really frustrating. It had so much potential. It could have been so good. And I'm expecting it to become pretty decent in the future if Bioware listens to the community and tells EA to piss off. But I can see Bioware listening to a good portion of the community, but they're not going to tell EA to piss off for a start. I mean, they are releasing regular and constant patches to try and fix issues and rebalance and rescale things, but for me personally, they're missing the big ones. The difference between the scaling of the javelins, I mean, you can quite clearly see here the little damage that I am doing, and I'm hitting roughly 1,000 per shot, but they're getting absolutely melted by this storm. You could argue that the storm is obviously going to have better gear than me, but even still, the difference should not be this large. It is kind of disgusting, really, because I kind of feel completely useless. I do have a storm character, very rarely play it because I kind of want to play as the interceptor. I like playing as the interceptor, but I feel like a handicap when I play as the interceptor. And I was talking to one of my friends as well who actively plays Ranger, and he says the same thing about Ranger. The majority of people are playing as Colossus or Storm, and there is a very good reason for that, and that is because they just do so much more. So much more. It's honestly, the difference in their scaling is embarrassing for a company like Bioware to put out. At least for me it is. As well as just the difference in the enemy health and damage between hard and Grandmaster. I understand they're meant to be higher, but as you enter Grandmaster without any masterworks, which I didn't, the game suddenly loses any form of fun. It becomes an infuriating waste. Like, honestly, I can't really even begin to explain just how demoralizing it is trying to go into Grandmaster, thinking, yeah, it won't be that bad, and then like the little pea shooter that you can pretty much one shot on hard once you've got some decent epic equipment, one shots you back. It is very demoralizing. It's very broken. The game does not scale well in any way, shape or form. It is darn right shocking about how that works. So I'm pretty much done with Anthem for now until changes, or at least a lot more content is added, and I'm talking triple of what it has at the moment. It literally took me about 20 hours to chew through pretty much what was available on release, and from there I've basically spent the next 80 hours just grinding, and I'm getting absolutely nowhere with it. 80 hours and I've got 5 usable masterworks, and the remaining masterworks I've got on are basically those 5 on repeat. That's it. I could not tell you how many pupper pumps I have had, or that one masterwork component. I've got like 9 of them, but it's the same ones on repeat, and they're no better or worse or enough to make a discernible difference in my javelin's capabilities. So they're redundant. I don't really understand what is going through BioWare's head when they made the game like this. It's really, really annoying. So anyway, if you are thinking of picking up Anthem, and I can't believe I'm going to say this, either get it on sale from somewhere, because the game's stock has basically plummeted. You can pick it up for near enough half price at the moment from various different sources, or just do the premiere. It'll be about $15 or £15 roughly. I think I paid like $14.99 for 1 month, and I had access to this game for 1 month, which will be more than enough time for you to get into the game, complete it, get a bit of grinding in, and get bored of it. Because honestly, at the moment, £15 is pretty much, I would argue, all this game is worth. I might stretch to 20. That's really basically it. There simply just is not enough of it, and their ethics is just horrible. There's nothing to grind. Absolutely nothing to grind. There really isn't. So yeah, I'm going to call this video here. Bit of a sad video really, because I really wanted to enjoy this game, and while I had things to do, I did enjoy it. But now it's just dull, it's repetitive, and there are some serious cracks in the wall. So thank you very much for watching. Hope I haven't depressed you too much. Good luck, have fun, and don't die. It's bad for the health.